Now on Coast TV News.
Wilkerson's final verdict, a crucial day in court as Randon Wilkerson faces sentencing for the murder of Corporal Keith Heacook, what this could mean for Delaware's justice system and the ongoing debate over capital punishment. South Bethany's cannabis clash. The potential ban on marijuana sales and cultivation in South Bethany is up for a vote. The implications for people who live there and the future of cannabis on the coast. Beach access for all. See how Rehoboth Beach is becoming more accessible. We'll share a heartwarming story of a family whose beach experience is transformed by new mobility mats.
This is Coast TV News at 6.
Members and supporters of the Heacook family walking out of the courthouse after hearing the sentencing on Friday morning at the Sussex County Courthouse. Good evening. I'm Mallory Metzner.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our News at 6. We begin tonight with the sentencing of Randon Wilkerson, the man convicted in the 2021 murder of Delmar Corporal Keith Heacook.
Randon Wilkerson was sentenced to 2 life sentences this morning in Sussex County Superior Court for 2 counts of first-degree murder. In addition to serving life in prison, Wilkerson received over 200 additional years for other charges he faces, including assault, possession of a deadly weapon during the commission of a felony and by a prohibited person, terroristic threatening, offensive touching, and burglary. These additional sentences range from 30 days for offensive touching to 25 years for assaulting seniors. Wilkerson was found guilty in an October 16th bench trial that lasted less than 2 hours. Friday's sentencing hearing lasted less than an hour, but in those 50 minutes there was retelling of the horrific details of April 25th, 2021, and hope from the defense team to factor in Wilkerson's state of mind. Live in Georgetown in front of the Sussex County Courthouse is Coast TV News anchor Matt Pensick. Matt, on a morning where the murder facts were restated, there was also plenty of emotion.
Yeah, it was a day of emotion for the family of Corporal Keith Heacook. Some emotion, too, for the family of the man convicted.
Now let's get a little historical context. Almost 2.5 years ago, Corporal Heacook was a 22-year veteran of the Delmar Police Department. On April 25th, 2021, he was assaulted by Randon Wilkerson while responding to a reported fight in progress in the Yorkshire Estates community in Delmar. Upon arriving to the scene, police say Corporal was confronted by Wilkerson. Dispatchers did not receive a response from Heacook after that. According to police, additional officers were dispatched from multiple agencies and they arrived to find Heacook unconscious inside the home. After efforts to revive him, Heacook was taken to Tidal Health in Salisbury before being transported to shock trauma in Baltimore with significant head injuries. 3 days later, Heacook was taken off life support. His memorial services on May 10th, 2021 brought thousands of friends, family, community supporters, and law enforcement from around the country.
Now, after the sentencing, there's the possibility of an appeal, though prosecutors have previously said they're confident the verdict will stand. As for now, Wilkerson has been sentenced to spend the rest of his life behind bars. According to a court official, a written order for the sentencing is expected to be available on Monday.
And with Wilkerson's sentencing in mind, it's important to bring up that Delaware Representatives Timothy Dukes and Danny Short have announced that they plan to introduce legislation in the new year that would reinstate the death penalty for anybody convicted of murder of a person of law enforcement or public safety officer. But let's look at a brief history here of the death penalty in the first state. Capital punishment was abolished by Delaware in 1958, only to return in 1961. In 1986, legislation was passed that made lethal injection the mode of execution. Then in 1991, Delaware changed its law for jury to recommend the penalty and then the judge to decide the sentence. Then on August 2nd, 2016, the Delaware Supreme Court ruled that Delaware's death penalty was unconstitutional. And all of this brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know if you think Delaware should reinstate capital punishment for the murder of first responders. Let's take a look at the results from the last news hour.
Taking a look at the screen here, the majority still says yes. That's up to 86% now, so that number has increased. 14% say no. If you haven't voted yet, you still can at coasttvnews.com or on our mobile app. We'll show you updated results on Coast TV News at 11. And now let's transition to the weather as we take a live look outside into Ocean City. It was pretty mild out there today. Our first alert meteorologist, Alex Seymour, joins us now with a look at the forecast for tonight. Good evening, Alex.
Good evening. Yeah, certainly a pretty mild day today to end the week, and to start the weekend, we're going to see some pretty warm conditions.
Coming up this weekend, it's campaign season, and a new hat has been thrown into the ring in Lewis. Kim Hoey-Stevenson will be hosting a campaign kickoff event this weekend. She's running for the 6th Senate District. The event will be held Sunday from 2 to 4 p.m. at Fenn's Ale House and Raw Bar in Rehoboth Beach.
There is significant development for Delaware's transportation system. Senators Tom Carper and Chris Coons announced a $500,000 grant from the bipartisan infrastructure law. The funds will be used to start a new rail corridor connecting northern Delaware to eastern Maryland via central Delaware. That includes Dover. This change aims to improve commuter options and reduce road traffic and emissions.
The Lewis-Marin City Council held a public hearing December 4th on the proposed Beach House of Lewis. This motel would be located at 209 Savannah Road. That's the site of the former Two Dips ice cream, if you recognize it there. Owner Jim Owen told the Marin Council he has reduced the number of rooms from 16 to 15 to accommodate more parking.
Yet another town is joining the long list of towns saying no to marijuana. South Bethany voted to ban marijuana businesses in their town limits just this morning. Coast TV News reporter Charles Reinert is live in South Bethany. Charles, neighbors were a little bit mixed on pot today.
Charlie, Town Council voted to pass this ordinance 5-1 this morning.
For the Greenwood Parade tonight, DelDOT will be blocking westbound traffic on Market Street in just a little bit at 6:45 p.m. You will be able to travel eastbound only on Market Street past Mill Street during that time. Also, keep in mind the judge's stand and announcer's trailer will be in front of the Town Hall parking lot. Be sure to make plans early to find parking for the parade.
Looking to send your child to a charter school, the Sussex Academy will be holding an open house December 12th from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. In addition to the open house, there will be a tour of the campus. That starts at 8:15 a.m. by an administrator. If you're looking for more information about Sussex Academy, make sure to stop by.
And make sure to pull out your phones and scan the QR code for our First Alert weather app. You can download the app for free to get all the weather updates you need. You will see the QR code a little later again with Alex. And we are just getting started tonight.
Holly history, how the start of a well-known Christmas favorite is rooted in coastal town soil.
A warm and sunny day on the way for tomorrow, but that will give way to stormy conditions on Sunday. I'll time out the arrival of that rain. Up in just a few minutes.
But first, the need for more beach accessibility. What one local family says about the struggles of going to the beach with a wheelchair. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Now on Coast TV News.
We're at the Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium, where outside this jet is firmly planted on the ground, but inside Stephen Decatur is getting ready to take off in the state championship game.
And Cape and Lupin is ready for tomorrow. Feel the energy of Cape and Lupin High's unique parade for their football team. A look at the school spirit that unites students and staff. Plus, Lewis's cannabis debate. Lewis faces a pivotal decision on marijuana businesses, the latest developments and what they mean for the community.
Right now, we are tracking a line of storms that's expected to pay us a visit over the weekend at least twice.
This is Coast TV News at 6.
From above with our Coast Copter, Stephen Decatur on their way to Annapolis in hope of a state championship title. Good evening, I'm Mallory Metzner. Madeline Overturf has the evening off and Charlie Sakaitis is on assignment. Welcome to our news at 6. We begin tonight with exciting game day team coverage with Coast TV News and the Delmarva Sports Network of the Maryland Football State Championship between Stephen Decatur and Huntingtown. And also, it smells like school spirit at Cape and Lupin High School, where they're getting ready for their championship game on Friday. Let's first go to Coast TV News anchor Charlie Sakaitis, who is live inside the Navy Stadium there in Annapolis.
Just as we've come on air here, Mallory, they're starting to let the fans into the building. They're trickling on in, but already there's a palpable buzz.
Our game day coverage for Stephen Decatur continues, and it is such a historic day for the team. It's their first state championship game ever. We are now joined by the Delmarva Sports Network's Tim Nolan, who is live inside Navy Stadium as the Seahawks near kickoff in the state final.
Yeah, historic day indeed. The Seahawks are well prepared. They actually went to Kent Island before this game, went through a quick walkthrough. That's why
as game day draws near for Cape and Lopen, excitement and school spirit are reaching new heights. The community is rallying for the upcoming showdown against Salesianum. Coast TV News reporter Tori Seagraves takes us inside the school, where the air is electric with anticipation for what's already a significant victory for the community. New today, Delaware State Police is asking for your help to identify a man that you see now on your screen. According to police, this man is connected to an armed robbery that occurred at the liquor shop in Milford earlier this month. Troopers are asking for any information about this man or his car. Call Delaware State Police to submit tips. The Delaware House and Senate Housing Committees are preparing to discuss the state's affordable housing crisis. According to the committees, the joint legislative hearing will be held at 10 a.m. on December 6th at Legislative Hall. During the hearing, the 20 members of the Senate Housing and Land Use Committee, along with the Housing Committee, will hear from the authors of several new reports on the current state of Delaware housing market. Lewis City officials looked at possible regulations to allow the sale, manufacturing, and testing of marijuana in the city. Surrounding coastal towns like Dewey Beach, Rehoboth Beach, Bethany Beach, and Ocean City have already banned it. In the newsroom is Coast TV News reporter Elisa Weber. Elisa, city officials at the meeting today showed they are undecided about marijuana's place in Lewis.
Mallory, officials did not come to a final decision today, despite what locals wanted.
And that brings us back to our Coast TV poll tonight. We asked, should Lewis allow marijuana businesses? Let's take a look at the updated results from earlier this evening. Looking at the screen here, it looks like the majority, 49%, are saying yes in all zones. So these numbers have changed since we last checked. Now we have 34% saying no to marijuana businesses. If you haven't voted yet, you still can at coasttvnews.com or on our mobile app. We'll show you updated results again on Coast TV News at 11. We have a lot more news on the way tonight on Coast TV News at 6. As the seasons change in Sussex County, it's going to be getting colder. What the county wants people to do to be prepared.
Well, we got as cold as 24 degrees this morning, but it wasn't a record low. Listen, enjoy tonight's cool, calm weather before the rain arrives for the weekend. I'll show you the showers that I'm tracking at this hour headed our way.
First, Millsboro first responders say there's a need for a trauma center in town. What growing problem first responders say is contributing to this need? We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Now on Coast TV News.
Jimmy Allen loses his lawyers again. What it means for the 2 sexual assault cases against him. Route 50 roadwork rundown. This weekend marks the start of disruptive roadworks on US 50 in Ocean City. How this necessary repair could affect your daily commute and local businesses. Milton's historical revival. The former Broadkill Sportsman's Club, a historical site in Milton, is set for a major cleanup. Why 75,000 pounds of lead bullets and debris haven't been cleared yet, and what this means for the Prime Hook ecosystem and the community. Your weekend sorted. We've got you covered with the coolest activities and events, our exclusive roundup to make your weekend unforgettable.
This is Coast TV News at 6.
Milton native and country superstar Jimmy Allen is dropped by attorneys again as he fights 2 sexual assault cases. Good evening. I'm Mallory Metzner.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our News at 6. We begin tonight with claims that Jimmy Allen is stalling 2 sexual assault cases against him.
Breaking news, Jimmy Allen has lost his lawyers again. In court records, Jimmy Allen's lawyers claim he did not comply with the terms of their agreement. His now former attorneys say Allen accepted their resignation on a December 1st phone call. Allen is facing multiple accusations of sexual assault. Allen has denied all claims.
The attorney for the two women claiming Allen sexually harassed and assaulted them said Allen deleted social media posts that were used to compile evidence and says that he has a track record of moving through attorneys saying, quote, "These tactics are part of Allen's continuing pattern of conduct to forestall plaintiffs' right to gather discovery to pursue her claims."
What happens next, you ask? Allen has to say whether he has new attorneys or if he will be representing himself by next month. In the past, he vigorously denied any accusations of abuse, claiming his encounters were consensual. Allen even has done some concerts locally and announced plans for a comedy tour. We have all the relevant court documents and case history on our website, coasttvnews.com.
If you drive more than a few minutes in any direction on Delmarva, you are almost guaranteed to find some road work in your way. This weekend, US 50 in Ocean City is getting the orange cone treatment. While the repairs are necessary, Coast TV News reporter Kevin Zappe tells us that there are also likely slowdowns for the daily commuters. This brings us right into our Coast TV poll. We want to know, how does work on the OC Route 50 bridge impact you? Let's take a look at the results from earlier this evening.
Look at the screen here. The majority earlier were saying no impact. That's gone up to 90%. Maybe a lot of people don't take Route 50 into Ocean City. I don't know. There's Route 90. I normally end up taking Route 1 all the way down.
But, you know, these could still change. Your numbers are going to vary. You can go vote right now if you go to coasttvnews.com, or you can use our Coast TV mobile app. And we're going to have updated results for you tonight on Coast TV News at 11.
Many roadway improvements are underway across Sussex County, too. Lake Avenue Streetscapes Phase 2 focuses on accessibility and street improvements between 3rd and 2nd Streets. The project construction end date is still to be determined by DelDOT. Another project is on Route 24 from Love Creek to Mulberry Knoll. That work is undergoing safety and capacity improvements, with construction continuing until the winter of this year. Then on Plantation Road, people are seeing intersection and pedestrian upgrades with a completion goal of early 2025. Lastly, a significant overhaul at Route 1 and Route 16 is replacing the current intersection with a grade-separated design. That project is expected to be complete by late 2025.
There are multiple projects scheduled in Dewey Beach this year, according to the town. Starting mid-March, Dewey Beach will undergo major street repaving, beginning with Collins Avenue to Cullen Street and including town-owned streets in Jersey, Carolina, and Chesapeake. This extensive work is expected to be completed before May 1st. Then driveway entrances will be remarked, sticking to the town's driveway entry regulations. In an effort to improve stormwater management, the Reed Avenue Bayside project will kick off in the middle of the month, following by the reeling of stormwater's pipes and on Dickinson and Collins Avenue Bayside in February. These initiatives aim to reduce flooding issues. Lastly, Baird Avenue and Pump Station will undergo cleaning and essential repairs, including resealing outfall pipes and fixing a wall separation.
Gun legislation could change how often you need to get your permit renewed for handguns. This amendment proposes extending the validity of a handgun purchase permit from 1 to 2 years and eliminating the voucher program for firearms training courses. The original bill requiring Delawareans to complete a training course and obtain a permit before buying a handgun has sparked debate. The legislative session begins January 9th.
Also in Delaware, a special panel has proposed solutions to health care for state retirees and workers. Chaired by Lieutenant Governor Bethany Hall Long, they've worked to address financial challenges and ensure long-term health care security. Their recommendations include better funding strategies and careful benefit adjustments, focusing on sustainable quality health care for both current and future retirees.
The Sussex County Council has approved a $1 million grant towards the new Town Hall, Police Station, and Sussex County EMS Station. According to the town of Dewey Beach, this funding boost aims to improve emergency response capabilities in the town and neighboring coastal areas. Officials expect to put the new Town Hall project out to bid by late spring or early summer, with groundbreaking planned for fall 2024.
Keeping the topic on Dewey, the town council made changes to free parking days at its town council meeting. Starting this summer season, free parking is available every Monday from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m., excluding holidays. For years, the town has allowed free parking from 5 to 11 p.m. Monday through Wednesday during the paid parking season, which is traditionally May 15th through September 15th.
A significant update on the Canary Creek Bridge replacement project, originally scheduled for completion by 2025. This project has now been pushed back to 2026 or 2027, according to DelDOT. The agency says the delay is due to environmental concerns as the bridge is located in a wetland. A wetland mitigation site is being created to minimize impact. DelDOT says the 31-year-old timber bridge has significantly deteriorated due to exposure to salt, and its replacement is essential to address safety and frequent flooding issues on New Road.
Getting the lead out, a new cleanup effort looks to a historic marker site from the chemical damage that's been left behind by decades of range bullets in Milton. Coast TV's Tori Seagrave shows us how the almost 13 acres of woods and debris is a threat to the surrounding environment. We're just getting going this evening. Seal season in Delaware. Delaware's coastlines hosting Canadian seal colonies during winter. Learn about the harbor harp and the gray seals frequenting our shores and the key guidelines to make sure that everybody stays safe.
A very stormy stretch of weather on the way to the coast. I'll let you know which days will feature the stormiest conditions coming up in just a few minutes.
Craft your own adventure. Coming up, I'll show you the cool things you can make and where you can go to learn more about one coastal community.